Hey there, Diane Conklin here. Welcome everybody. I'm gonna move this over a little bit here. Hopefully I won't have propeller head. So, interesting topic. Welcome everybody. You know, I'm not sure if the iOS 9 deal... Oh, there we go. Okay, great. Now I can see people coming on. So great. Hey Heather, how you doing? So, I know you guys must be thinking, oh my gosh, what's Diane gonna talk about today? This craziness, right? So, I had an appointment to get my hair cut and colored this morning. And I always forget to get my brows done. I was 50 before I ever got them done the first time. I'm 52 if that tells you anything. So this is still a new experience. So when I finished up with my guy, he put the gal in to do my brows. And she's having this really hard time getting the wax. And I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. So she can't get the wax off. Luckily for me, mine are not really dark, right? Because you may or may not be able to see this. Half of this one is completely gone. So, feeling the love on the brows, right? Thanks. So, she finishes. She has to go get him to get the wax off in certain places. So, I'm not going to bewilder this. I'm coming to the point. I really am. But, so I leave. I pay and I leave. And I have to run to the store for a minute. And I go like this. And there's like wax all over my eye. And I'm like, or, you know, what I think is my brow. So, me being me, only as Diane can do this, right? I go like this. Right, oh my God, exactly. Exactly, Heather. So I go, whoop. Well, the wax was stuck in the middle of my eyebrow. So again, you can't really see it very well, but there's this big, like, hole right there. There's no brow. There's no hair. It still hurts. So, but here's very interesting, right? So the guy who cuts my hair, and I'm not going to name names because somebody on here who knows, somebody's going to know him, right? By the way, give me some hearts if you've ever had a bad brow job. Right? Like I said, this is all still new to me. And the guys are going, oh my gosh, Diane, what are you doing? So it's Crazy Friday. So see, some of you relate. Thanks for the hearts. I appreciate it. So, long and short of it, the more I thought about it, I was like, oh my gosh. So when I got home, I took a couple pictures. Now, meanwhile, the guy and I the guy who cuts my hair, and I had this whole conversation about customer service and business and owning a business and all of that while I was in the chair today. And he was telling me about this horrible experience he'd had on Tuesday night at a restaurant. So, and we also had the conversation about cell phones and people being like so tied to, you know, like their electronics these days. So I know he prefers a phone call, but I'm thinking to myself, if I'm really going to show him like what happened, he needs a picture. So I take a couple really close up. Hey, Diana Perez. It's good to see you. I know you must be going, what in the world is this crazy woman talking about? It's good to see you. Thanks for the hearts. I know that's you. So he likes phone calls, right? And I'm thinking, okay, but he really needs to see this, right? So I take the couple pictures, and I thought I'm just going to I'm going to send him a private message on Facebook. So that's what I did. Not 10 minutes later, and this is a guy who's like me. He's not like tied to his phone. He's not checking it all the time. He's got all the notifications turned off, like I do. Like I don't know when you post on my wall until I go check. So not 10 minutes go by, he sends me a message, and he's like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I've already talked to this person. And I'm one of those people, can you guys relate to this from a business perspective? Like, I get tied to people. Like, I want the same person doing my hair. I want to see the same dentist. I want to go to the same eye doctor. Like, I like having that consistency, right? So I just said to him in the message, excuse me, because he did it the last time and they were fine. Will you just do them from now on? Because he owns a spa, right? So you know how it is when you go to a spa. Somebody has to cut your hair and color your hair. Somebody else has to wash your hair, and somebody else does your brows, and somebody else does and I don't do all the nails and all that stuff, obviously, right? Look at me. As Keisha said to me earlier, you're a little casual today. I am a little casual today, but it's Friday, and it's rainy in Atlanta, and it's kind of yick. So this is kind of as good as it got. And no makeup again. So I'm getting over my fear of showing you guys that side of me that doesn't have makeup on, right? So anyway, he sent me a message, and everything's fine. As a matter of fact, I have an event I talked to everybody about a few times ago, coming up in like 10 days. When is it? Actually, 2 weeks. And I'm freaking out, right? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks horrible. So I said to him, I'm gonna let him grow out, and just before my event, I'll have him, freshened up a little. He's like, totally come see me, and from now on, I'll just do your brows. And why am I telling you this? Well, first of all, because it made for a funny story, and you guys know I love fun and funny. The other thing is that it made for a great title, right? Sort of like the I Have a Pimple a week ago. But here's the real thing, right? Customer service is one of those things in your business that a lot of times we try to, what's the right word, outsource, right? Or we try to give it to somebody else. And, this is only the fourth or fifth haircut I've gotten from this guy. I switched over. It's the second color. And, it's important. Like, I'm still sort of establishing the relationship. I really, really like him. He's close to the house. I was driving like 40 minutes away, which means a cut and color takes like all day. Not all day, but like 2 hours plus 30 minutes there and back. It's 3 hours out of the day. So I really, really like him. And it's a great environment. It's close to the house, and I love being close. Those of you who know me, if he would come to me, I would like it even better. But the customer service piece of what we do in business is so important, and so many times I think it's an afterthought, right? It's not the thing that we think about. So, you know me, I'm the plan gal, right? So here's my question. Do you have like a customer service plan? Is it part of your operations manual? Do you talk about it with your team and your staff? Is it something that you tell people is important? I went to get a prescription filled the other day, and I went to the drive-through at the drugstore. Literally, the gal picked up the phone, because now it's the phone through the glass, and she went like this. No, hi, how you doing, right? And so, same thing, like when I paid the whole deal, it was like really, and then she says to me, these might look different because we had a different manufacturer. Okay, thanks so much for your help, right? Feeling the love. But it's little things, right? It's a little thing here and there that makes such a huge difference. Like, he totally just won me over because he's going to do them for me before the event, and then he's just going to do them. He doesn't do that at the salon. This isn't what he does, right? He cuts and colors. That's his specialty. He's not the brow person, but he wants me to be happy. And I don't know, what is that? $10 or $12, whatever it costs to do the brows. I don't know. He just tells me what I owe him, and they put it on the card. But I really want you to think about, like, do you talk to your team? And look, even if you have a virtual team, the customer service piece is so important. How do you answer the phone? Do you ever call? I ask people this a lot. Do you ever call your own company? Most people say no. You should. Find out, what does it sound like on the phone? What are people doing? How are they responding? So anyway, and I think it's easy to in today's world because customer service is a little lacking in a lot of places, and we could all tell like hundreds of stories about that. But what we don't always do is talk about the good stuff. And I think it's time that somebody started focusing on some of the good things, and this was a good outcome. This was a good story. Now, this still hurts a little, right? I've put aloe on it, and the guy said to me in the email to put some vitamin E on it, so I'm going to go out and get some. And if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to type in a suggestion or two, and if you feel me on this customer service thing, always love some hearts if you guys are agreeing and feeling what I'm talking about. So it's always good to know you're still there. So anyway, look for some positives. I'm going to challenge you this weekend to go out and look for some positive experiences. And here's the other thing, as a business owner and as people who are doing things in business, if you do just a little, right, and sometimes it's the minimum, right? If you're just average, people think this is a great customer service event, or that you do really good at customer service just because you show you care about people. It's not so hard anymore to make a great impression on people. And so that's my point. So here's the deal. It's Friday afternoon. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you do something fun. There's a lot of fun things if you live in Atlanta going on. There's a food thing going on tonight. There's the Greek festival, all kinds of fun things. Unfortunately, the weather's not going to be great. I'm sure there's great football as well. So anyway, just a quick story to share. Hope you got something out of it. You need me, check me out, send me an email. I'm Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems. We'll touch base with you next week as we get closer to my event. It'll be a little crazy, but I'll make some time. I hope you guys got something good out of this. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.